Alrighty then, it is Tecmo Tuesday, and it is time to continue the playoff journey of the Indianapolis Colts, the 1992 Colts. We're going to be playing the Houston Oilers in the divisional round. A rematch from week 2 where we won 17-10. It was probably our most impressive, looking back and off the top of my head, most impressive defensive game that we had played all season because of how much we shut down that high-powered offense. You know, I can't say I have the expectation we'll be as successful in this game, but, you know, we're going to give it our best shot. Where am I going here? I just want to check the conditions. George's average. Yeah, like I'm going to make that. Oh, Rodney Culver's an excellent. That is good news. Bad, and average. All right, so Clark and Johnson are both in shitty condition, so I'm going to put Carthon and Culver in as the lead backs. The receivers are all average, so it doesn't matter. And cash is, you know, yeah. So I'm going to put Carthon in just because Clark and Johnson are both in shit condition. I'm going to leave Brooks in as the returner for both kickoffs and punts. So here it is. And before we start the game, like I said, we'll play this game and then also commentate the remaining playoff games in the divisional round. The divisional round is often regarded as the best weekend in the postseason for the NFL. There's 4 games, and they're often the more highly contested games on the slate. So we got Steelers and Bills on the other side of the bracket in the AFC. And then over on the NFC, we're going to have also the 49ers and Redskins, as well as Eagles and Rams. So let's get started with the divisional round. Game number 1, Colts and Oilers. First things first, we just winning the game last week against Cincinnati, another AFC Central team. Kick off like we always do. We've gotten further this season than we did all of last season. Well, all of last season. We got further. Last year we got to the wild card round and got beat. So we've already outperformed ourselves from the previous season, but do not want to rest on the laurels. All right, looks like we got a sack right away. Looks like Baylor isn't quite as speedy as he was in the last game, but he still looks pretty good. Oh man, I thought we had a shot at stopping that. We were closing in, but I mean, it was a tough foot race there. Oh, they're running it. Oh no, it's Lorenzo White. Come on. Oh, come on! Why did he go diagonally like that? That's... why did he dive? Why did he dive diagonally? I was running straight. I did not hit the directional pad off direction like that. Why the fuck didn't he dive straight? I would have had him. It's fucked. So already they've got more rushing yards and total offense than they did in that whole regular season game. All right, let's shake it off. It's just our MO to give up a touchdown right at the beginning. All right, so Culver with the first down. I'm surprised they measured that. I thought that was pretty obvious that we got it. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's good news that we can get, I think we'll have some success on the ground. Ugh, that took too long to get there. Oh, come on, he was open. I had Cash open. Alright, I'm calling a shotgun play here in case I have to dump it off quick. Going to Culver. Ah, that's great. 3 and out to start this one. Come on, drop, drop. All right, that was, wow. That's about as good of a punt as you possibly can get. I thought that was going to be a touchback. All right, I'm calling all runs here because I'm going to, just to stop all that shit. All right. I let them get behind me there. I'm thinking like, oh, I can, if I can, you know, at least have a decent defender to block, to stop the passes, then I can defend the runs by calling the plays. Yes! All right, there we go. That's good news. I can get up there with Baylor to stop those runs before they, you know, as long as I can get there and get in the right place at the right time. Like, I can get there quick enough on those, you know, intermediate, short, third and manageable, whatever, and stop it before they can get to the first down marker. All right, last play of the first quarter. Come on, Langhorne. You got this. They are catching up, but it's not going to matter. All right, we'll take those when we can. So far they've been covering pretty good. Can't have football, playoff football without beer. And today I'm drinking Oktoberfest, Sam Adams. My favorite of the seasonal varieties, winter lager, is a close second. Come on, come on. All right. Did not want to give up a big return right after that touchdown. He's waiting. Oh, man. Whew. I thought he was going to jump up and catch it. Despite the fact that I was able to get over there and get across the field. Oh, they're running, shoot. The quarterback keeper. Oh, boy, what is he going to do? He's going to run it. Fumble it. Nah. This White's a pain in the ass. So is Moon. Ah, you guys suck. You know, I almost think that I have to be conservative as the user defender, and I can't, I'm gonna have to be the last line of fucking defense here. I can't give up those big plays. Oh, man, White goes down. That's what happens when you feed him the rock too many times. He's their only, you know, they have one starting running back, so they're going to put Tillman in. Throwing it. Ah! Ernest Givens from Louisville. So on 3 drives, we've stopped them once, and they've scored twice. All right, they're getting a short kick here, so we're going to have plenty of time and a nice short field. Not much good there. In fact, nothing. I don't want to give them any time with the ball. But I have been known to... there was that one time where I really fucked up the time management. Oh, man, and they got... I can't really throw it cross field like that and expect it to work out. Because George throws it so slow. These defenders are quick. Oh, but the deep ball is working. The deep ball is working. They're not always open. You know, it's not like we're gonna just call the deep throws all the time here, and just because it's worked out twice. Because more often than not, they're not open. Alright, so 31 seconds. Let's not fuck this up. Like last week we did it at the end of the half. Alright, there we go. We got a nice blitzing, and he chucks it up. Oh, man, that would have been so nice to get a pick right there. I mean, what would we have done from there? I don't know. Alright, I called the shotgun. They're doing it again. And they're still getting rid of the ball. Another, you know, broken up pass. I'm calling it one more time. I mean, why not, right? They're not doing it this time. They are throwing it, though. Alright, there we go. You take that first down all day. You're not getting a touchdown on this drive. We're not going to give up that shit. So, you know, one of the reasons why I kick off every time is because of this. If we can score at the end of the half, get the ball, and the start of the second half, we can switch the momentum. And especially if we're behind like we were going into this last drive. So, yeah, what I'm going to try to, you know, we can try to get our first lead of the game right here. There you go, Culver. Nice run. Very good. All right. Let's go back to the short passing game. All right, everybody dove. All right, there we go. That's the way to do it. Come on, get some nice blocks in there. Oh, so close. All right, let's go to Carthon. Oh, come on, he was there. Why are we measuring? It's a fucking, it's second and goal here. Would that have been a touchdown if they had... All right, here we go. No, they called it. Ah, oh, son of a bitch. All right, I'm taking the points here. I'm taking the points. Ah, that is frustrating. But, you know, it's like you can't... I know that they would... Karma would kick me in the nuts if I went for it. Oh, man, he broke a tackle. There was another guy behind me, but I know that if that could have been bad news right there if he had gotten past me. I knew he was going to step up. Fucking... Why did they fucking drift like that when they dive? We can't have the lead for more than 8 seconds, huh? Son of a bitch. Alright, another short kick here. No! No! We got it back. I can't believe we got it back. This is what killed us the last time in the playoffs was the fumbles, the fumbleitis. I was having flashbacks just now. Alright, we got the first down that time. Hester. Got him. feeling very confident in the offense right now. And yeah, we did get a stop that one time. And then not counting the end of the first half. You know, but other than that, you know, it's like we've had our moments. Yes! No! What are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I guess one good turn deserves another, but that would have been nice. Oh my god, getting the ball up 3 in the start the fourth quarter in their territory. But they catch it. Not only do they recover it, they get an extra 15 yards out of the fucking thing. All right, here we go. It's fourth quarter. It's nut cutting time. Let's fucking cut some nuts. Come on, get a pick here. All right, let's get a stop here. All right, they're doing the shotgun play. It's the draw. It's the draw. Stop him. Yes. Punt it away, motherfucker. Ugh. This drive right here, this could be it. If we can get a touchdown here. This would be gymongous. Nothing doing on that one. Come on, Foghorn. Yes! Yes! Break that tackle. Fuck all you guys. Fuck you all. Oh, all right. Now we're cooking with oil. Come on, set those blocks up. Fuck yeah! Culver striking fucking iron while it's hot. Now it's not over, but we're in really good shape. Oh! Yeah. I fucked that up a little bit. But that's the thing. We can't let them score quickly. We gotta, you know, it's like, all right, I call the shotgun. Are they gonna do the draw? No, they're throwing it. Moon gets it out. Oh, he always gets it out so fucking quick. Excuse me. Nice! I had him. I had that guy. If it would have been, that would have been a catch. That wouldn't have been good. I've seen, you know, we've seen so much crazy shit in Tecmo that a quick touchdown and an onside kick is not out of the question. All right, fourth down. This is it. Well, last chance. I called the shotgun. They're blitzing. Of course, he gets it out. And that's it. Fuck you. Go home. All right. I'll just finish it off here. Just put the icing on the sundae. Yeah, they're gonna call the timeouts. It's gonna go back to, well, I'm not gonna say anything until the game is over. Because I could, you know, we've had fumbles in the fucking playoffs before where they kicked us in the nuts. I'm not gonna let them kick us in the nuts here again. I'm not gonna even say anything and re-jinx myself for the umpteenth hundredth time in this Tecmo Tuesday saga. Jeez, I felt like they've called timeout 4 times. Alright, one more play. I'll give it to Culver since he was kind of, you know, as far as the running game goes, he was a workhorse. And get a nice first down to close it out. Man, what a game. Just a great second half. They, you know, the defense came through when we needed him to. You know, it was, you can't really stop these guys. You can only hope to contain them. And and we had a couple of big stops. Contains, whatever you want to call it. That last one, though, when we were up 24-21 and we stopped them to force a 4th and 1. It's funny how, in the last it's the CPU game that the Raiders had and last week, and the Miami game that we played against the Dolphins, where the CPU logic is a little fucked sometimes on 4th down, and they go for it when they really shouldn't. This was an opportunity that if they would have went for it, I would not have batted an eye whatsoever. That was you're down 3 in the 4th quarter, and the playoff game, it's a yard, you're around midfield. You're close enough. I definitely wouldn't blame them for going for it. Anyway, we're in the AFC fucking championship this time. And we're going to be going against either the Bills, our arch nemesis, or the Steelers, who, they are also a formidable opponent, as we found out when we played against them this season. So it will be something. Either way, we'll find out today who we'll play against. The rest of these games, I'm going to simulate the remaining 3. So, and I think I have these. Yeah. All right. Everybody's where they should. And so here we go. The Niners and Redskins will start the NFC side of things. They did play. I mentioned it last week that these two teams played in the divisional round in the real 1992 playoffs, and I mentioned how it was a sloppy game. It was, the elements played a big role in that, but I think it was still a good game. It was sloppy, but to an extent, but it was still, just a good old-fashioned mucky kind of a game, and even the playing field a little bit. So it gave the Redskins a chance. At that point, they were not as good as they were the year before. And here's Radman breaking some tackles here to get a first down right off the bat. And they're blitzing, and A.J. Johnson takes Steve Young to the ground, and it's going to force a 2nd and long. Ricky Running Waters got ran down. Young drops back. He's thrown out of bounds. I think I got a sneeze coming here. Wow. That was a powerful one. Wilmsmeyer with the punt. And Brian Mitchell gets stuffed inside the 10. So the Redskins are going to have a long way to go. Redskins are going to have a harder time this week than they did. Oh, look at this. Here comes the blitz. If that was a play fake, I thought that might have been a safety. They're in safety danger right now. Everyone's going to have to get rid of this shit. Everybody's covered. Phew, that was dangerous as shit. Redskins are going to have a harder time this week than they did with Dallas last week, who, as great as Dallas is in this game, in the 92 Tecmo, Aikman went down and then Johnston went down. It was just a bad string of breaks for the Cowboys. So Goodburn with the punt. Defensive game so far. It's not far removed from what happened in that 92 playoffs with these two teams. And Waters breaks through. He sees a lane, and he is going to go the distance, it looks like. Yep. So right after I mentioned how the defenses are holding their own to start off the game, right after that, the floodgates opened, and the water ran through, or the Waters, Ricky Waters, ran through. And San Francisco strikes first. Niners are trying to, talk about our redemption story, the Colts' redemption story. 49ers, oh boy, Mitchell goes down. That's a tough one. He was a legendary return man. So, yeah, the 49ers, they were upset in the divisional round last year after, they had the bye. The Vikings were definitely an underdog against them, and they took them down. So they're out here for their own revenge in this playoff. And their defense is definitely up for the task here. Hit off the Biner, and he does not make it. Goodburn with the punt. Lee takes it out, makes a few men miss. He's gonna get a nice return out of this to the 35. And this quarter has been, it's been a lot of defense, but the Niners have definitely dictated the pace. Oh, look at that. Rathman makes the catch in traffic and then breaks a couple tackles. And, it looked like it was going to be a catch that just right around the line of scrimmage. Ends up being 20 yards. Go back to the ground. Why not? It's working out so far. The running game and the short passing game, there's a lot of yak for the 49ers, or yards after the catch. Back to the ground, and Rathman makes a man miss. But, it's ever since that run, that run by Waters, it seems like the 49ers are finding a rhythm here with their running game, and they go back to it once more. And the blocking is nice, and Waters is easily in the end zone for his second touchdown. Redskins are going to need to score on this next drive here if they don't want the 49ers to run away with it. Because they are in control here. The Candlestick crowd is just there. They're rocking. They got to change. They got to turn the tide here. They got to score. They're going to play fake it. And they're going to throw it into coverage. Another play fake. He's got Ricky Sanders. The nice catch, and he's going to the 25, inside the 25. So the Redskins are now threatening for the first time in the game. Urban drops back. The coverage is pretty good this time. He throws it away smartly. They had some pressure there, and everybody was covered. Oh, the play fake did not work that time. They were not buying that shit for a second. You ran it twice. And, the ground game hasn't been working out, so, now they're going to run it just to set him up for a shorter field goal. It was third and a country mile. They weren't gonna convert that. Will Miller's kick is good, and the Redskins are on the board. 14-3. Logan breaking some tackles. Boy, the 49ers, whether it's, the running backs, the receivers, or the special teams unit, they're breaking tackles left, right, and sinker. He's got guys open. And he goes to Rathman, who just overthrows him by a fingernail. So here we go, third down. This is a big chance here for the Redskins, and they let Rathman through. First down. I mean, they still could get a stop. Oh, and they missed a sack there, but Young throws it out of the end zone. It's funny seeing this. I mean, because the sprites are mirror images, when you go left to right, that quarterback is always a righty, and right to left, it's he's always a lefty. This game is the opposite of what these guys actually are. Steve Young is a Porthsider. He throws lefty. But in this particular game, because Niners are going left to right, he's throwing it righty, and Rippon's throwing it lefty. So it's, it's bizarro world. Young on the play action. Oh, over the hands of the defender and into the hands of Jerry Rice. And that right there might have been, you know, like the... I mean, it's obviously not over, but if you're the Redskins, you feel a lot better going into the half down 14-3 after kicking a field goal and getting a stop than you do having just being mere inches away from deflecting that pass. And, you know, maybe it's still 14-3 at this point. And you're still in the game. You're getting the ball back. You know, you could a touchdown, and it's 14-10. You know, midway through the third quarter, plenty of time. Much different story than you know, giving up that touchdown and being down 21-3, and you start the second half with the ball inside the 20. Biner getting a big gain though here. Picks up 15. They gotta, you know, it's just such a tall order for them though. They've got to score. They got to score quick, and they got to get stops because there's just they haven't gotten anything yet. As far they, you know, they did get one stop. Okay, you know, they did stop them, but this offense is just so high powered, and you know, it's besides that one stop, you haven't really. I wouldn't be too confident that my defense would be able to hold them off the rest of the day. So, you know, like I said, tall order. They got to score, and they got to do it without milking the clock here. So now 3rd and 8. You got to convert this. Rippon's going to scramble and run for it, and he gets it. Wow, that was really close. I'm surprised they didn't bring out the sticks for that one. But that was a gutsy run to, you know, keep the game alive. And he connects with Sanders inside the 20. See, again, this would look... If it was still 14-3, the picture would look a lot different right now. It would be a whole different feel. Even after this sack by Walter to make force a 2nd and 13. You know, it's like if you... Yeah, 3rd and 5. This is... A lot of the time is ticking here. They're going to end up kicking a field goal here, too, aren't they? Because it's 3rd quarter. Yep. See, again, the Tecmo logic, this isn't good. If the in the current modern rules with the 2-point conversion, field goal is just about good. You know, you're down 15. You're still it's still a 2-score game, but this is before the 2-point conversion. Only a couple years before the 2-point conversion was implemented in the NFL. It's still a 3-score game when it's 21-6, but that was a nice kickoff and great coverage there to maybe get a safety out of this. But in order to do that, you got to stop him behind the line and not give up another big gain by Waters, he's been the MVP of the game here. He's got 2 touchdowns and a lot of yards, and he wants the ball again. Because that's how he was. He was a diva running back. He needed the ball. He wanted his yards. Young on the play fake, looking for some insurance. 3rd and 5. This is big. The Redskins absolutely, positively, 1,000% desperately need a stop here. You know, now that I think about it... No, yeah, it's still 3... What the hell am I thinking about? Yeah, you gotta score thrice. So it's like I said before, it's a 3-score game. They're in deep shit. They can't be doing this razzle-dazzle shit. And right after I say it, it fucking works. Gets into midfield. I mean, it did kill some clock, though. That's the thing. It took like 25, 30 seconds just for the play to develop and get them, you know, get the runner past the line of scrimmage. Gary Clark will not even get his hands on the ball there. That was a well-defensed play by the, you know, I don't know if that's Ronnie Lott that made that play. Oh, no, it definitely wasn't Ronnie Lott. He wasn't on the Niners anymore at this point. And Sanders makes the catch. Oh, and they're going to get him stopped inside the 5 just to bleed out a little bit more clock. You know, the Redskins desperately need to score quickly and kick it onside, score again. And that time they punch it in. So finally the Redskins get in the end zone. Ernest Biner scores. See, now again, if in the modern rules, they would be going for 2 right here easily. And that field goal on the last drive would have been warranted. Instead, you know, it's still a 2-score game. So here we go, desperation onside kick. And they almost got it. And this is one of the reasons, you know, why the 2-point conversion was needed. You know, 21-13, scores like this. You know, it's like the game's over. It shouldn't be. Rice will not make the catch this time. And they play some good D that time. Too little, too late, though. Again, though, if there was a 2-point conversion, actually, I take it back. They wouldn't have gone for 2 the last time because they would, if they would have missed, they'd be out of the game. They would have saved that. At least I would have saved it. I saw somebody last week do that shit. They went for 2. They were down 14. They were down 15. They scored a touchdown. They went for 2 to pull it within 7. The problem with that is if you fail, you're fucked. You know, it ended up they got the 2, so no, nobody was the wiser to complain about it. But so I stand corrected. I correct myself with that, the logic just now of going for 2 to make it pull to within 7. You want to prolong the game as much as possible when you're down. And this would be a dramatic finish right here. If an 8-point game with a 2-point conversion. Instead, it's stopped. You know, there's still time. There's time enough for 2 plays if you get the throw off quickly. They're running the fucking reverse. And it didn't work that time. So there it is, 21-13. Which is eerily close to the final score of the real game that these two teams played in the playoffs in '92. It was 20-13. 49ers. In fact, the touchdown that we saw Rice get, there was a very similar play in that playoff game where the ball went through the defender's hands and was caught by, I don't know if it was Rice or Taylor, John Taylor. And Rice only did have the 1 catch. I was wondering that, if he had been shut out the rest of the game. It was very similar to that. You know, like when the defender in this game, he skied for it and missed. Anyway, that was it for that one. So the 49ers will avenge themselves. They avenged their death from the year before. Got beyond the divisional round, because that would have been a a hot seat kind of deal where you get the bye 2 years in a row and then lose in the divisional round. That was something that Marty Schottenheimer was notorious for in the 90s with the Chiefs. So here we go. This is a big one here. This is to see who we will be playing in the AFC title game next week. Will we be going up against the Bills or the Steelers? Now, I would rather, if this were, real life, the home field advantage, we would want the Steelers to win so that we, as the 5th seed, would actually get a home game over the 6th seed Steelers. But, the Bills obviously would be playing in Buffalo. That home field advantage doesn't mean anything in Tecmo. It's not real. And wow, Kelly almost got safetied and almost got an interception. I think that it would be a more, there's a lot more history with us in Buffalo. And that's going to be a 4th down right there. We split the series last year against them. We split the series this year against them. They were always tough, hard-fought games. I mean, how great would it be to play against them again and have the stakes as high as AFC Championship? You know, AFC fucking title is on the line. I think that'd be awesome. So, and as a pick by Henry Jones, first pass by O'Donnell is picked. He had a hard time in the playoffs in the 90s, with the exception of that Super Bowl season. Neil O'Donnell was, you know, an average quarterback on an above-average team. Eventually a great team. Thurman Thomas with the first down. And I mean, how satisfying would it be to beat them? I mean, hopefully, you know, he's not doing this to us because we've seen it happen before. Not just Thomas, with various running backs, but Thomas is a tough fucking cookie to crack. And that was a dangerous pass right there by Kelly. And there's the fake and the pitch to Thomas, and he will get taken down at the 2. So here we go, big third down. I think they're gonna run the draw here. And they do. And the Steelers they were not prepared for it. Thurman with the TD, and the Bills strike first. You know, another, you know, what if would have been if we had lost. I mean, of course, it's not what I would have wanted to happen. But if we had lost and Houston gets in the AFC title game, and then let's say the Bills win this, then you have the Bills-Oilers rematch from the real 92 season. It was one of the craziest playoff games ever. The 35-3 comeback. And there's another pick. This time Kelso. So O'Donnell is really, really struggling here. I'll never forget that Bills comeback. I don't know if I mentioned this on another in another game on here before. I'll never forget that day. It was one of the first playoff games I watched, because the 92 season was the first season that I started watching football for real and following it. So the Bills are down 28-3 at halftime. They actually would give up another touchdown to start the second half. But my stepfather, who was very, I've talked about him before, he was very instrumental in getting me into football in general, which Tecmo, this game right here was a big part of the reason for it. And a big part of the reason why I became a Raiders fan. But that's a different story for another day. We were watching the Bills-Oilers game, and I called the comeback. I mean, I didn't call it, but I said, you know, they could come back. I didn't predict it, but I said it could happen, and he was shutting it down, saying, they're not coming back. Are you kidding me? And sure enough, they did, and we talk about it to this day all the time. And Scott Norwood went wide right. Oh, no, this is Steve Christie. Steve Christie went wide right. So the field goal horrors continue for the Bills, and even though they've been outplaying the Steelers thus far, it's still only a 7-0 game. And O'Donnell almost threw his third interception just now, throwing it into blanketed coverage behind the line of scrimmage. What the hell was that? He's got a shot here, though, and he's got Graham. And all it takes sometimes is the one play. You can be dog shit for a quarter and a half, like O'Donnell was, and then, bam, you come up smelling like a rose when you score a touchdown like that and tie up the game. And that's the thing, you know, it's like a couple of plays later, all of a sudden, the Tide, I mean, like I said, it's a tie game, but, you know, that switches the momentum. It was all Bills in the first half. Well, it's just still the first half, but throughout the first quarter and a half, and this is all it takes. And look at this. That would have been something right there if he would have thrown a pick. You get the sense that the Bills are getting very anxious here, and they're maybe getting a little overly urgent, and throws it to double coverage. There it is, double coverage with one of the guys is Rod Woodson. Nobody's going to make that completion. That was a very ill-advised pass by Kelly. And here's Merrill Hodge with the takes the handoff, and the Steelers have seized the control of the game here. Barry Bananas Foster will get the first down, it looks like. Yep, very close. So, minute 48 to go in the half. And the pitch out to Hodge, and despite the fact that there were a lot of Bills over there, they were getting held up in check just enough to get a 7-yard gain out of that. Donald has some time, he throws it. He's not had good luck with that flat pass. Donald's got some time, and once again, the flat pass, that time it went off the hands of Foster, but really the only chance that they would have had a scoring that time is if all those Bills defenders went blind at the same time. So the Steelers do take the lead though with the field goal, and it's 10-7. This is actually another. We were just talking about the 49ers and the Redskins played in the divisional round last year in real life. So did the Bills and the Steelers. Difference was, though, it was in Pittsburgh. Steelers had the home field, and the Bills were a wild card because they lost the tiebreak to Miami. By the way, if anybody's wondering, it's like why I have like such a grasp on what the hell happened in 1992, almost 30 fucking years ago. Yes, one thing it was the first season I watched football, but there was and I was 9 years old, so that was a long time ago. But besides that, the fact that it was the first season I watched, we also kept. My stepdad had kept recordings. He videotaped the NFL primetime show, which had the highlights of all the games at the end of each Sunday. Which is what a lot of people might have noticed, was what I modeled the highlight reels at the end of each half of the season on here after that show. But anyway, so I did have a bunch of tapes throughout the 90s with those highlight reels. And there's a fumble, but the Steelers keep it. That's the third fumble of the playoffs so far. That between our game and this game that the offense recovered. Anyway, so I would watch those tapes a lot, and so there was. It wasn't like just watching a season and it goes away and you kind of forget a lot of shit over time. Having those tapes was was quite a way to maintain a lot of what happened. And Davis is fucking fast today. And he's breaking tackles all over the place. And now he's hurt. I shouldn't have said anything. Poor bastard. So they're going to put Fuller in. Take his spot. I mean, the only good thing there is, he wasn't one of your starting running backs. But, I mean, look at how fast he was. That was a huge asset to have on the return game. So the Bills are down now, 10-7. They just had an injury. It's not... Oof, that was dangerous. I thought he overthrew that first receiver, and it... No, that was not the case. He ended up throwing into a crowd. He's going deep again, and knocked away. I get the sense that Kelly's just forcing this shit. Ever since that touchdown, that the Steelers got to tie the game, that first one that they got, they sensed that the tide had turned, or they sensed the momentum had switched, and they needed desperately to get it back, and they're just forcing the shit out of all of these passes. Meanwhile, O'Donnell, who I was making fun of at the beginning of the day, has been a lot more economical and smart about his throws, despite those 2 picks he threw earlier today. There was another one that they dumped it off to Hodge. He could have gone deep to Graham again, and that he would have been covered. That run went nowhere though. Bills can't give up a touchdown on this drive, or it'll be tough. So here we go, big third down here. Gotta wonder what the Steelers will do if they, they don't convert this. We'll never know because they got the first down. And Foster makes a few guys miss, and he is off to the races. Touchdown, Steelers. And that's how the third quarter will close out. This defense is for real. I mean, I'm saying this right after the Steelers just scored. I mean that the defense is for real because they've been holding the Bills' offense in check. And if they can get another stop here on this drive, it might be checkmate. And a fumble! Well, holy shit, it's bouncing. And the Steelers pick it up. Wow. And they break it, and it's a touch. No, it's not. It's on the 1. But, my God. Talk about the Kenneth Davis injury coming back to haunt them. That was huge. And Merrill Hodge is going to score, and that's going to probably do it. Wow. Holy shit. What a turn of events. I mean, the Steelers have had control of this game really for a little while now. But, now it's just been snowballing for Buffalo. And the Bills are going to, they're going to, we talked about how the 49ers had their redemption game. They got beaten in the divisional round. The same thing happened, the same thing happened to the Bills. They were, upset. There's a first down. And there's a touchdown. So they're hanging in there, but it's gonna be a little bit too late. For a second I was starting to question my own by my statement just now, but yes, they did. They got beat by Miami in the divisional round, and the Raiders beat the Dolphins in the AFC Championship. So this will be the second year in a row that the Bills get beat in the divisional round. Hand off to Barry. And he gets the first down to further cement the status. They just gotta hope that nobody gets hurt here. That's kind of what they're up against. And they're gonna O'Donnell, who I was I was giving all kinds of shit to, throws another touchdown. I wasn't giving all kinds of shit, but I was giving just a little bit of criticism, I guess. And they are pouring it on now. And, it's, aside that late touchdown and that they gave up to Buffalo here, the defense has been stout. They forced a few turnovers. This is just, whatever happens here doesn't matter. It's garbage time. You could even make the argument that the last touchdown was garbage time. It was a long shot that they were going to come back from that. And Thurman goes down, which, just adds insult to injury. Or adds injury to insult, I guess. So a tough, well, not a plane ride, a tough bus trip back home for the Bills. They're gonna run one more play. And Fuller gets a. Oh my God! Well, they Bills do recover it, but that's just right there. They dropped the ball, figuratively and literally in this game. So a huge statement from the Steelers. They were on the ropes there. It looked like the way it was going. I mean, it feels like they got more than 130 yards passing. But, you know, they threw when they needed to. You know, most of the damage was done by the defense. They got those turnovers. They got good field position. And they struck them when, at the opportune times. They took advantage at the end of the day. I mean, you look at the stats, it's otherwise fairly even. In fact, it's very even. It might even be dead even. I'm not going to do the math. But anyway, so it's set in stone. It's going to be Colts and Steelers. But who's going to take on the 49ers in the NFC Championship? Will it be the Eagles, who had the best record in football and the tops, in a very tough division? Or the Rams, who also were in a tough division, mainly a tough dogfight with the 49ers. They were jockeying for position for that top spot. Will they get a chance to meet and defeat their arch nemesis elsewhere in California? We'll find out after this one. Hand off to Herschel. They have Herschel Walker. They have a plethora of weapons on this offense. You've got Cunningham, a.k.a. QB Eagles, as he was known in Tecmo 91. Most dangerous quarterback in the game. Because of his scrambling ability. Just a real pain in the ass to defend against. But they've also got Herschel Walker. They've also got, they got a couple of pretty good. They got Keith Byers is a pretty good running back. You got Calvin Williams and I'm spacing out the other one. They got two good receivers, and then they've got a really strong defense. And that one is dropped, and that will be, that one was well defended anyway. And that'll be a field goal. And that, I don't know, that one might go right, and he misses it. So here we go, another strong offense here are the Rams. And a pass to Lang. Somebody pointed out that David Lang passed away. I was not aware of that. I had to look it up, and yeah, he got shot. And there wasn't really any details on it. I didn't, do a whole lot of research, but... And there's a pass to Chadwick. He is into Eagle territory, and he's close to the red zone now. Oh, and a fumble! And the Eagles pick it up, so Eric Allen scoops it up. And that was a huge opportunity lost there for the Rams. Let's see if the Eagles take advantage. Cunningham has a lot of time, but he's got a lot of guys covered. He's chucking it up to Williams. And the ball bounces. Who the hell? It's pissing me off. That I'm spacing out the other wide receiver. They have two pretty good receivers. And this is a pretty good fucking quarterback here. He is, just running all the way across the field. That's what you have to worry about when you play this Eagles team. Especially if you're going against a pretty good Tecmo player. They're in control of him. It's a big difference. And oh my God, Herschel Walker with the reception. There was pressure all up in his face. It looks like they're going to run the ball here. It's going to be the quarterback keeper. And he's got all kinds of daylight, and it's a touchdown. Fred Barnett, that's the other one. I promise you, I was not looking it up on my phone on the side. It was I mean, you don't have to believe me, but that's, you know, it was pissing me off that I couldn't name it, and it was a personal mission to remember it off the top of my head before I saw him, you know, make a play on here. That's what I was worried about. I didn't want that hint. I didn't want it to be, well, the hint. I didn't want it to be displayed in front of me. You know, you didn't get a chance to talk about the Eagles' defense. They got Reggie White. They don't have Jerome Brown here. He passed away prior to the season beginning. But you've got Seth Joyner, Eric Allen, Andre Waters. There were some, you know, this was a tough defense, and it was the Eagles were definitely, and the Rams are gonna go for it. See, again, this is a part, and Cleveland Gary he doesn't make it. I would have fucking measured that. Oh shit. See, I know that, you know, we were talking about the AI and like they go for it at weird times sometimes, but that one, it made sense. And it also, not only here's another reason why it made sense, something that the computer was definitely not thinking of as Cunningham scores a touchdown. 4th and 2, you're at midfield and you're going against this fucking juggernaut of an offense. You can't punt the ball and, you know, because you have to keep them off the field. You have to take chances. You have to be aggressive, especially when you've got a pretty good offense. That the Rams have a pretty good offense. They do not have a very good defense, and it's not just because they just gave up those plays. You know, the Rams of the early, even to mid '90s, most of the '90s up until the end of the decade, they did not have good defenses. And this era in particular, they had a really shitty defense, which is what kept them from being any good. They didn't have talent they have pretty good offense, but they didn't have enough to compensate for such a shitty defense. And when you're going against a team like the Eagles here, it's bad news Bears. Or, you know, not Bears. Cleveland Gary takes the handoff, and he gets a first down, keeping the game alive. They've got to score. They have got to get in the end zone. Close out the half. He's going to Flipper Anderson, who makes the catch in tight coverage. It's got time, but he's got guys covered, and there's another pick. Well, that was the first pick, but it was another turnover. And, you know, hot damn is it? And Cunningham just says, "I'm just gonna take this shit." You know, why not? He's probably got more rushing yards today than I've had with the Colts all season. But you know what though? You gotta risk getting him hurt. You know, aside from all these called runs, he's also going to get sacked a couple of times, and, you know, you're going to be fucked. And there's Pat Beach. Oh, man, I miss him. I shouldn't, you know, I like Kerry Cash, but Beach was such a good hand last year. That was, you know, sad to see him go, but like I said, it's I'm glad that we supplanted him with Cash, and that was a ill-advised pass, especially with the amount of time that's left. You're not gonna, you have 14 seconds left in the second quarter. That would not have benefited you at all. I mean, you're gonna, because unless they fucking let him run a touchdown. Oh, they just about get him, because that would have been you know, a score right before the half. On a run play from midfield. Sheesh. So the Rams have had their shots. They've had their chances and gotten down twice. They were either in the red zone or basically in the red zone. And they came away with nothing. That's been the difference of the game. On top of that, you know, getting the ball to start the second half, if you would have scored, even if you wouldn't have gotten both of those drives, let's say you get a touchdown and a field goal or just one touchdown, it's a one-score game, and this drive right here means so much more. It's similar to what we were talking about with the Redskins game against San Francisco. They were just down by too many points. And while 14 points isn't insurmountable, it's when you're throwing passes like that, geez, right into the crowd. It's just such a tough mountain to climb. You know, you dug yourself into a little bit of a hole. And there is a catch there by Lang to keep the drive alive. They needed that one. Nice run here by Lang. He's been the workhorse of the offense. And Flipper Anderson too with a big catch earlier. Cleveland Gary getting some a decent run on first down. Oh, why did you go to Gary? You had two guys open. You had Flipper down the on the go route, and yeah, the tight end right in the middle. Both of them for first downs or more. Instead, now you're gonna have to settle for a field goal attempt. Ugh. And Zendejas is gonna at least prevent a shutout. But against this Eagles team, you know, you gotta put up 6 here, and they've done. I talked shit about the Rams defense and everything, and they certainly have given up some big plays in this game. But at the end of the day, it was only 14 points in the first half. You know, that's not bad. That's you know, fairly average. It gives you a chance, especially with the offense that you have. But look at this. And that's it. Cunningham's going to take another one to the house. Boy, these other 3 games. I mean, the Buffalo game was close until, you know, we got toward the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. That time, that area of the game was when the Steelers ran away with it. But it still was, you know, a decisive victory for the Steelers. Then the, you know, the 49ers game, it was 21-13. The game wasn't as close as the score would indicate. You know, Washington scored garbage time. You know, it was never any hope for the Redskins to win that game. So it looks like, you know, my game was the only one that was close. I mean, you know, this one's not over. But it's, I mean, let's face it. You know, the Rams just aren't showing any life here. Or they have shown life. Like, you know, Lang has shown some life, for sure. But 3 drives have turned up. They've got, oh my god, a backwards pass to Cleveland Gary in tight coverage. What the hell? It was technically a lateral, too, because he threw it behind the line. And I never it's going to get fucking destroyed on that one. 3rd and 25. So, yeah, thrice. They got down and threatened, and they only came away with 3 points. Wow, Jim Price was right on that one, but still, it's 4th and 16. Play fake as if they would buy that shit when you're down. And then another pick. Oof. And that's the nail in the coffin right there, folks. Oh, shit. Well, maybe it'll be prolonged a little bit here, and the Rams are going to get a defensive touchdown? No. See, again, if you would have scored on even two of those drives. Well, they did score on one of them. They got a field goal, but then this touchdown was mainly set up by the defense. But I mean, shit, if you would have, on those other 2 drives, you got in the red zone, even if you would have only gotten 10 points out of it, you know, you'd be down 1 right now, and it'd be a much different story. Now you gotta kick it onside. And Fred Barnett, the guy that whose name I spaced out, catches it in midair and seals the victory for real here. Byers, who fumbled it before, I think, gets a big first down, about 20-something yards. blitzing them there. See, the one thing that can fuck the Eagles up here is injuries. You going against the 49ers, you want it to be all hands on deck. Overthrows Calvin Williams. And they're gonna run it. You can tell by the way the formation is like. No, they're passing it. But he's gonna run it anyway. And that's 3 touchdowns for Randall. I'm pretty sure that it was 3 touchdowns. So it's going to be Eagles and Niners. That's going to be something. You know, it's like the 2 teams with very solid offense and defenses. It should be a good matchup. Rams trying to salvage some dignity here. And another pick. There have been turnovers. You know, I don't know if the Rams thought that this was a bake-off. Because they might as well be a bakery with all these fucking turnovers. Rams call time. You know, it's like, just go home. It's over. And Byers is gonna rub it in. He's like, you want to call a timeout? Huh? Well, we'll get another big gain out of it. The Eagles score a touchdown, 1 touchdown in each of the 4 quarters. Randall Cunningham had 196 yards rushing. And he wasn't the only one, you know, carving it up on the ground. They had 305 yards rushing as a team. That is obscene. In Tecmo, that is obscene. I mean, in real life, that would be a big number too. But 305 yards rushing. He only had 58 yards passing. Everett threw for more, but he also threw for way more interceptions, which were very, very costly. They had 3 touchdowns plus 3 interceptions plus a fumble. The 1 touchdown they got was set up by the defense, by the fumble recovery. So, I mean, you can't even really. The Eagles' defense did their job and then some. So there you have it. That is the end of the divisional round. It's Colts and Steelers. That's gonna be you know, there was an AFC title game that these 2 teams played in the mid-'90s when the Steelers won. They just about won. There was a Hail Mary throw by Jim Harbaugh at the end that did not go through. And then you got 49ers and Eagles on the other side. So, very different looking Final Four. None of these 4 teams were in the Final Four last year, so it's very... you know, obviously we're gonna have a new Super Bowl champion, and we're gonna have a new AFC and NFC champion. I mean, shit. A lot of these teams didn't even make the playoffs last year. Anyway, that will do it for this week. Next week we'll try to bring it home. We'll try to get it to the big show. So until then, I'll see you around.